Are we going to keep being the laughingstock of the NFL, or is the nightmare finally over? The Las Vegas Raiders have locked in Fernando Mendoza as the #1 overall pick. Smash that like button and buckle up, because the desert is catching fire today and the real rebuild has officially begun. Let's cut right to the chase and tell it like it is. The Las Vegas Raiders have selected Indiana quarterback Fernando Mendoza as the first overall pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. It's official, guys. What we've been calling for months is now a reality. The front office didn't try to get cute. They didn't try to outsmart the room and become a national joke. They went out and got the guy the whole country has been talking about. Mendoza is a Raider. And let me tell you something. My immediate reaction when the commissioner announced his name was a scream that woke up the entire block. You know why? Because we desperately needed a winner. Our team is coming off a pathetic 3-14 season in 2025. 4 straight years watching the playoffs from the couch. It was stagnant, a lack of identity and killer instinct that was eating me alive inside. And then comes this kid. For anyone living under a rock who hasn't been following college football, Mendoza isn't just another prospect with a big arm. The kid simply won the 2025 Heisman Trophy and did the unthinkable. Led Indiana to a perfect 16-0 season and the national championship. 16-0. In a title game in his hometown of Miami, playing against the Hurricanes, the team he grew up rooting for. This is straight out of a movie script. It's that ice in his veins, that ability to perform on the biggest stage of all that we are bringing to Allegiant Stadium. He's the first Big Ten player to go #1 overall since Jake Long in 2008. Our franchise has finally flipped the script. Out goes the loser mentality, and in comes a guy who doesn't even know what it means to walk off the field with an L last season. The impact in the locker room is going to be insane and immediate. Clint Kubiak just arrived to be our head coach, and he already gets the most coveted toy in the league handed to him. Mendoza fits perfectly into what Kubiak wants to run on offense. No more making excuses for mediocre quarterbacks who get happy feet in the pocket when the game is on the line. It's on, and the AFC West better be ready. We have a new face of the franchise, a guy who has the audacity to walk into the desert and promise an oasis. I am totally bought in. I am on the Mendoza bandwagon, and if you aren't, you just don't get what's going on. Now, if the hype for our new QB1 was already through the roof, hold on tight, because the dust hasn't settled yet. If this has ever worried you in recent Raiders history, handing the keys to the Ferrari to a rookie and watching him crash into the first light pole, wait until you hear what's going down with Mendoza's development plan. The news that just broke behind the scenes completely changes the game. The reality is a lot of people in the national media are already doubting our pick. The narrative is that this 2026 class is weak for quarterbacks, that Mendoza was only a 2-star recruit coming out of high school, and that we fell for a one-hit wonder mirage. But look at these absurd numbers. A 72% completion rate, 3,535 yards, 41 touchdowns, and a measly 6 interceptions. 6. The kid protects the football better than a lot of legends out there. Even so, the experts think the Raiders are going to throw the kid to the wolves right in week 1, only for him to get swallowed whole by Myles Garrett or by Max Crosby in practice. But this is where the sheer genius of the new coaching staff kicks in. Clint Kubiak isn't going to make the crazy mistake of rushing things. The news confirmed that Mendoza is not going to be irresponsibly thrown into the fire. And who's going to be his mentor in the locker room? None other than Kirk Cousins. Cousins is there to hold the fort, to chew on Kubiak's playbook, who, by the way, was the offensive coordinator that brought the Super Bowl title to the Seattle Seahawks last year. The guy knows how to build a championship offense. And there's more. Guess who is a part owner of the team and is going to be the kid's personal advisor? Tom Brady. Mendoza is going to learn how to be an NFL quarterback with Kirk Cousins showing him how to be a pro day in and day out, and Tom Brady, his absolute childhood idol, whispering the secrets of 7 Super Bowl rings in his ear. It's the perfect ecosystem. The media loves to remind us that recent #1 picks like Bryce Young and Caleb Williams haven't won a Super Bowl. But none of them walked into an environment like this. We haven't won a playoff game in 24 damn years. We need to rebuild the culture, and having a kid with a chip on his shoulder who is starving to prove everyone wrong, that's Raider football. When he steps foot in Las Vegas on Friday, the revolution officially begins. To sum up the madness, Fernando Mendoza is the new king of Las Vegas, arriving with national champion status. But he's going to have to silence a lot of critics while learning under the giant wings of Cousins and Brady. Now, I want your unfiltered take down below. Would you throw Mendoza to the Wolves in Week 1 to learn by taking his lumps on the field? Or would you let him warm the bench behind Kirk Cousins for at least half a season so he doesn't get burned out? Drop your comment down there, subscribe to the channel, Raider Nation. Just win, baby, and I'll see you in the next video.